Good afternoon. In this video, we're going to go over this week's options watch list. Before I get into the watch list, if you're not in the room, you can find the link in the description of the video and in my bio section of social media accounts. Also, please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Now, this is going to be a short week. Obviously, today is Monday, Memorial Day. It's a 4 trading day week. Right now, the put-to-call ratio is at 0.600. It's kind of in the middle, really nothing exciting to look at. The economic calendar for the week, really not much going on. I already took a peek at it earlier. Tuesday, tomorrow, we have couple Fed speakers. Fed speaker, that's nothing really. Actually, we got consumer confidence at 10, which has not been much of a mover. Wednesday we have Fed speakers. We have FOMC with no Powell. So there is no Powell, but there's FOMC, which to me, those are my favorite FOMCs because you can get right at the money and they end up moving just to a dollar or two on SPY, and those SPX options will go 100% very, very easily. Thursday, we have unemployment claims at 8:30. Some Fed speakers throughout the day. That's about it. On Friday, Chicago PMI, consumer sentiment revised, and some Fed speakers. So yeah, not much going on in the economic calendar this week. So besides Wednesday, FOMC, which is non-Powell, so it's just nothing really much going on. So with that said, well, with the market being close today, futures is up 75 points right now, making it over the 23rd high. So yeah, so SPY right now, if it was to open right now, it's going to be right around 482, 483. Right in that area, 483. We'll round up and say 483. So SPY is going to gap up, but that doesn't mean anything. We could end up just fading and open tomorrow, but we'll keep an open mind that if it does manage to get over this 486 level, 487 level, we could probably push to the 590. Sorry, I meant 586. 587. We get over 587, we're going to push to 590. We get over 590, we're probably going to push to 595. And if we get over 595, we're probably going straight to 600. But we have a head and shoulders. We get a left, the head, and a potential right shoulder, depending on where we end up tomorrow. And if we do manage to get below 575, we're going to fill the gap probably to 570, 565. So definitely keep an eye on that. We could go either way right now on SPY, so just keep an open mind where SPY opens up and what it looks like pre-market tomorrow, and we'll go from there. That's why I need to be in the room, because we'll make those calls in the room. Now, big strong green candle on Friday on VIX. When we have these wick candles, they usually end up getting smashed the next couple of days. So VIX could go drop. VIX is probably under 20 already. If it was to open up right now, and if it does manage to get that, we probably could see 17 again. We lose 17. 15 seems to be the bottom as of the last year, or 6 months I should say. So we'll see if VIX gets crushed this week and back down to 17 or 15. So a couple things to look at. BA, if it loads. BA is it's had a huge run the past month or two, so I'll be watching for it to drop a little bit. You got a MAC crossover right here on the daily, which usually means we're gonna end up dropping at some point, but doesn't mean we won't. I mean, we will. We could just we are flagging up here. We could shoot to 210 and just take off and go to 220, but every time BA starts to get any momentum, it gets slapped. It comes right down, so I'm just going to assume that same thing is going to happen. So I'll be watching BA underneath 200 for, we got some gaps to fill. Actually, I think a gap filled right there, or closed right around the 198, but we got, actually no, I think it's the only gap. For some reason I thought there was another gap. Well, yeah, we got one way down here at the 167 area, but BAs we have here at 200. That's going to be a pretty massive drop. I mean, it does. You look at the weekly, we've had massive weekly drops from 170 to 135. So I mean, that's a 30-point drop right there. I mean, that could definitely bring down to the 170 of a 30-point drop like that. But that's probably news driven. Yeah, I mean, under 200, keep an eye on BA for a drop to 195, 190, 185. The weekly area is right around that 190, 185 area, so I'll come back down to that on BA. Now, Apple. Now, Apple right here, I mean, I'm looking at it's got support right around the bounced off the 193 area, 193. I mean, if we get back down underneath 193, we're probably going to get to 190. We lose 190, we're probably going to go to 180, 170. But it's been bouncing here, so I'd be keeping an eye on both directions. It getting underneath 193 to 190, and if it does manage to get over 197 for a push to fill the gap up here at the 200, and we have a gap up here at 210. So Apple could go either way right here. I mean, the weekly and the daily making lower highs, it's practically pointing down, but it's Apple. I mean, they have a tendency to pull off miracles and just defy the odds and make rehashed garbage products and just go to the moon. Apple's one of the most terrible companies I've ever seen, but it is what it is. Now Microsoft is up here at the 450. We mean at 460 rejected, but it does not like this 460 to 450 area. It just likes to reject it. So get a huge gap up from earnings from we'll say 397 to 425. I'd watch it underneath Friday's low 448. It's underneath 448. Probably gonna push to 440. And down to 430, sorry, and gap support's at 425. I don't imagine it's going to flush through the gap support right away. They tendency to bounce right there, especially from 25 points away. They probably will likely bounce there before maybe make a head and shoulders pattern before it does flush through to make the gap fill. Not unless it's news driven, and something could end up definitely pushing that. So NVDA is another one I'm keeping an eye on. Head and shoulders right here on the weekly, but it's flagging on the daily. So keep an eye on NVIDIA. I'd watch it over 135 or push to 140, 150. But you also get a head and shoulders. I just can't imagine it getting below 100. It's just the company's got too much hype going on for it to get down to 100 again. So I mean, yeah, you could definitely drop and fill the gap right down here at 125, 120. But I'm looking at the flag and it going higher. But you can also look at it from underneath Friday's low of 129 for push to 125, 120, 115, 110. I just don't think it's going to get to 100. But I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, what do I know? Market does what it wants, not what you want. Tesla, same thing. It's flagging right here, right underneath 350 on the daily. It gets over, I mean, I would say over 345. It's probably going to push to 350. It gets over 350. It's probably going to shoot up to 375, maybe even 400, and take off. I mean, anytime it flags like this right here, it flagged and it took off. I mean, we kind of got the same kind of setup right here as we do here. We could end up seeing the same thing. We went from 290 to 50. We up 50 points. I mean, that'd bring us up to 400, 410 or something like that if we had the same kind of move. So definitely keep an eye on Tesla. Like I said, short week. Who knows how much we'll move this week? We'll just take it one day at a time, and that's why you need to be in the room. So thanks for watching.